Hey guys, welcome to my studio. So recently I got this really cool book called The Bees in Your Backyard, and it's all about North American bees, but it also goes into bees that you can find in South America too, and it is just so cool. I've been flipping through it, and there are just so many bees, and I got really inspired to make some fairies based on a few of the bees whose designs that I really like. So that is what we're going to be drawing today. I also got this new watercolor sketchbook. I actually have a smaller version of this same one. It's the handbook journal, but I've been wanting to draw slightly larger lately, which is funny because as you'll see, the drawings are pretty small that I end up doing, but I want to be able to have a whole spread of the same type of drawing. So I wanted all of my little bee fairies to be on the same page. And in the future, I'm going to be using this sketchbook for specific watercolor practice for landscapes and other things like that. So I just wanted something large and good for watercolor, because I've been drawing a lot in my normal sketchbook lately, but it's so small that I fill up the pages super quickly, which is kind of fun because I'm already about a quarter of the way through. And I'll probably finish it sometime this year. We'll see. I've actually been doing a lot of paintings and drawing ideas for paintings, so I'm actually not sure that I'll finish my sketchbook this year, but either way, I got this sketchbook specifically for watercolor and gouache practice. I started off with this light pink colored pencil. Lately, I haven't been drawing with a mechanical pencil or graphite at all. I've only been using colored pencil. And usually I love that. Like, I really like how it looks in my sketchbook, but I think I might actually change how I do things for watercolor, because obviously colored pencil, you can't really erase it, and you can definitely see the pink colored pencil that came through the watercolors at the end. So I went ahead and went in digitally and fixed up all those areas so that you can't really see the colored pencil, but it would be nice to not even have to worry about that in the future. So I might start drawing with graphite. It's funny, I only have a mechanical pencil, but my husband has this giant bag of school supplies from when he was a kid. And it's giant. It's like a giant gallon Ziploc bag just filled to the brim with pencils and pens. I don't know why he saved all of them, but because of that, I have basically an unlimited amount of number 2 pencils. So I might start using those to sketch out my watercolor drawings and then maybe erase the lines and go back over with the colored pencil, because I do really like how colored pencil looks compared to just plain boring graphite. But anyway, it had been a while since I recorded anything, and the reason for that is it's the middle of winter, it's February, and I am just so ready for spring to arrive. I've just been, after the holidays especially, I just needed some time to kind of chill, hang out with my family, and do art without worrying about recording anything. But I feel ready to get back into things. I've been exercising a lot. I've been drawing a lot. I was playing video games a lot last month, but I kind of stopped, and I think I got that out of my system for a little while. I've been playing Infinity Nikki, and it's a lot of fun. I kind of flip-flop between this is a lot of fun and this is kind of tedious, but it's been really nice to just explore around. I don't really enjoy doing the questing, but I do like getting new outfits, so that's been keeping me going. So when I do play video games, I'm usually playing either Infinity Nikki or Sonic Adventure 2. I also got Paper Mario 1000 Year Door remake, and I've been loving it, but it's just hard to find time. It's hard to find time to do anything right now because there's just too many things I want to do. I'm also reading a book, and I'm trying to find the time for that, so it's hard finding time for everything, but I just take it slowly and not worry about doing everything that I want to do at once. And that's been working and preventing burnout, I think, because I definitely in the past, I would try to just do everything all at once and become burnt out within like 2 weeks. But now I try to level it a little. So I have my priorities. Like exercise is a big priority. Obviously, spending time with my family is mandatory. And aside from that, it's like when I have time, I can pick a day, and on that day I'll do art, on that day I'll read, on that day I'll play a video game. But I can't do it all. So I do have to prioritize like that. But so far so good. I think it's been working out. And another thing I've been doing, this video, I didn't mean to talk about like burnout, but just kind of happening, I guess. But another thing that I've been doing that's been different from what I've done in the past is I'm trying to get rid of my all or nothing attitude. I used to go and try to do so much at once, and because of that I would get burnt out, and then I would tell myself, oh, I guess I hate doing this now. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just going to quit. And I've done that with streaming. I've done that with making YouTube videos in the past, and just with a bunch of stuff. But lately, I'm trying to switch that mindset and instead think of it as taking a break. So for instance, last month, I took a break from making videos, but I didn't tell myself that like I don't want to do it anymore. I did have a feeling, like a fleeting feeling that I didn't want to make them anymore, but that's not true because the urge to make videos came back again. So I just think it's good to not have that all or nothing, like I either have to do this all the time or I can never do it type of attitude. And I just think it's better to do things a little bit at a time and pace yourself so that you can do what you want to do. It can't all be at the same time. So with my little life update kind of out of the way, let's actually talk about the art. So little bee that I'm painting right now is the bombus. That is the actual scientific name for bumblebees, and I thought that was really funny. So I just gave her your typical honey colors, and I just made her really warm toned overall, because although bumblebees don't create a lot of honey like honeybees do, they do have a hive with a queen, and so they do make, like, they have little cells that they cover in wax, and it like kind of looks like honey. So I just wanted to go with some more like classic bee features, or what you think about when you think about bees. And the next one is the Capolicana. They're bees that are named after a warrior from Chile who led an army against conquistadors in the 1500s, which I thought was pretty cool. And they named that because they first found this bee in Chile, but the bee is also in North America too. Apparently they love mint and pea flowers. I drew her with a bee balm flower, not with mint or pea, because I actually drew these first and then I did the research. Oops. But oh well, that's okay. I still really like how it came out, and I really like the colors. The third bee is the Habropoda laboriosa, which is also called the southeastern blueberry bee, and they're called that because they really like blueberry flowers. They're more like a white and black bee. Their colors are really cool, but I wanted to give her some blues and pinks because I just thought that would be cute. So she's a lot more blue and pink than what you would see in the wild, but I'm okay with that. And then I ended up painting a bee balm flower. I actually have some, well, not growing right now, but I have some that are dormant for the winter, and then they'll pop back up in the summertime. And they really are bee balm. Like the they're called that because bees love them. I get so many little bees all over them. Especially, we have a lot of carpenter bees that live around our house. And so we see them all the time on the little bee bombs, and they are just so cute. And I had a lot of fun painting the leaves. It was really cool mixing that like bluish green color with the rose. I really love that rose color. Oh, I didn't mention, I'm using my my Maylang watercolors for this because I love them. I love the colors, especially that cobalt blue. I use it all the time, and now I'm really loving that rose color. It is just so, so beautiful. And the last bee that I'm painting, I drew over another bee that I really hated how it looked. I didn't end up recording that, sorry, but I didn't like how it looked. And that's a con of using colored pencils, especially for something that you plan on like finishing. That's not just a sketch, because I had to cut out another little piece from my smaller watercolor sketchbook in order to tape it on top. But oh well. So this is the Nomia, and they're really cool because they actually have opalescent bands, and they're solitary bees, and they are really important in alfalfa pollination, apparently. So it was just really fun painting this wide variety of bees. Like there are thousands in North America, but everyone only thinks about the honeybee, which is understandable because first of all, they give us something that we really like, which is honey. So of course there's going to be advocates for the honeybee because they get something out of it. But unfortunately, honeybees aren't even native to the United States. I think there's more awareness of that happening now. So it's kind of a shame that everyone talks about the honeybee when there are so many local bees that are kind of in danger, because a lot of these bees are called specializers, which means that they only pollinate like one type of plant. An example is the spring beauty bee, and I'll show a picture because it's so cute, but it literally only pollinates the spring beauty flower, which is an East Coast flower that pops up. It's a spring ephemeral. I think I said that right. So it doesn't show up for that long. It's only like in the early-ish spring. But I've noticed them in my lawn, but unfortunately a lot of people mow their lawns in the spring or do like treatments and stuff like that. So because of that, like those flowers, you don't see them very often, and because of that you don't see the bees very often. And there's a lot of bees like that. So just in general, I think it's important to be aware of all the different types of bees that aren't just honeybees, that you're not directly getting a benefit from, because we benefit from all of these bees. We need them. Without, like, it's not just bees too, there's other pollinators, like even ants pollinate some plants, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I feel like I could talk about bees and pollinators all day. I've just gotten really into learning about like native plants, and I'm trying to plant native plants in my garden, and I'm excited to continue working on that as spring comes, which I really cannot wait for. It's very icy. We're having freezing rain literally right now, and I just see a bunch of icicles outside. And it's pretty, but I'm over it. I'm just ready for spring. I then went on and did the second coat of watercolor for everything. Sorry for jumping around so much, both in my in my talking and in my painting. I drew everything, and then I painted everything with one layer, and then I let them each dry before I went in with the second layer. I just thought it would be the most efficient that way. But I went in with the second layer, and I just kind of darkened everything. And it's kind of funny, I'm still not super used to watercolors. I think I've gotten my groove with them. I really enjoy using them, but I would not call myself an expert by any means. And I think that really shows, but I'm okay with that. I really like how loose my watercolors are compared to when I paint digitally, especially, because it's kind of half and half. Like, half of it is because I want to be more loose with them, and I really like letting them take control. But the other half is that I don't fully have control over them in the first place. So I give them control because that is how I know how to work with them. Otherwise, I'll just be struggling and it won't be fun. But I really like the outcome, and I do end up cleaning them up digitally. I've been doing that with most of my watercolor paintings, and it would be nice to get to a point where I don't feel like I have to do that, or at least I could go in with a little bit of gouache maybe to clean it up instead of going in digitally. But that's where I am for now, and I know I'm going to continue to improve as I continue to paint. And like I said in my goals, like I said in my video about my 2025 goals, I really want to focus more on painting with watercolor and gouache because I enjoy the medium, and I finally got to a point where I feel comfortable painting with them, and I don't feel nervous whenever I'm about to paint with them like I did before. So that's pretty cool, and I want to keep that up and get even more comfortable with them. And I think one day I'm going to get to a point where I like my traditional paintings as much as I like my digital paintings, and that would be very cool. But I don't have a ton left to say. I think I've rambled on enough, and this video is also kind of on the longer side, so I am going to let you just chill with the music for the last few minutes, and I hope that you've enjoyed the process and that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!